of the year.
After more than 3,500 kilometers of racing, the RFS Machalis 400 is the final race of the season.
Until we preview that one here on Supersport, you keep it.
2008 Sasol South African Rally Championship, but sadly, round 8 will not see the talents of Paul Pfeiffer. The South African rally fraternity was shocked when a freak accident during a Western Cape regional rally claimed the life of production car star driver Paul Pfeiffer. The Nobili Mitsubishi Lancer that Pfeiffer and navigator Cindy Harding were driving in ended upside down in a farm dam. Rally and rescue crews managed to drag Harding to safety, but Pfeiffer was only found around 15 minutes later. He was flown to hospital but pronounced dead soon after his arrival. Pfeiffer started rallying in 2003 in a Class A6 Toyota Corolla, but he'll be remembered for a series of inspiring drives behind the wheel of his Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 6. During his rally career, Pfeiffer managed to notch up a number of great results, including a 3rd overall in the Toyota Dealer Rally in the Western Cape in 2006 and an overall production car win during this year's Sasol Rally. This is the first fatality in an event since Lambert Fecken on the 1974 Castrol Rally. Paul Pfeiffer was a fearsome competitor, but more importantly, a true gentleman and a good friend to the entire rally community. He will be missed. So after 7 rounds on farms and forests all over South Africa, gravel racing returns to Gauteng for this, the Toyota Dealer Gauteng Rally. The Milliefield farm roads around Bronkhorstspruit and Barsfontein, east of Pretoria and Johannesburg, present an extremely tough challenge to the drivers, navigators, their cars and their service crews. And although they lack aesthetic appeal, they bring gravel road racing right to the doorsteps of millions of Gauteng residents. Earlier this year, Volkswagen won the Toyota Dealer Rally in Cape Town, and Toyota returned the favour by winning the Volkswagen Rally in Port Elizabeth. This is another Toyota Dealer Rally, so Toyota would very much like to bring an end to the habit of a rival manufacturer winning the opposition's event. The battle lines were drawn, and the battlefield, a challenging 16-stage route totaling 203 kilometers.
The stages aren't as technical as I'd like them to be.
You know, it's my hometown. I learned to drive on these roads, so I sort of like them.
Mostly it's fast, lots of 90s.
I've done these roads maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago when I first started rallying, but it's a nice area.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of this area. The roads are much for the driver, you know, it's Milliefields and it's 90 lefts and there's some bad jumps and stuff like that.
The roads are quite bland in terms of driving skills, but there's lots of opportunities to damage tyres and suspension and so on.
So with most of the class championships already decided, the drivers won't be able to make any excuses of them protecting their championship positions. This time around, with nothing to lose, they can all just go flat out in what will be a battle of the egos. With 3 victories out of 7 events so far, Hergen Fecken was consistently the quickest driver and therefore a worthy champion. But just how fast can he really go?
We managed to get the 7th place that we needed to win the championship, so that's settled. So basically this event we can go as fast as we want to.
Outgoing champion Jan Habig won the opening round in Natal and would love to finish the season in the same way.
And I think all the guys will be on a bit of a mission, some more than others, and yeah, we're going to be part of that mission.
The last time 2006 champion Enzo Keen tasted victory was during the Sasol Rally early in May.
Wins don't seem to come that easy these days. The competition is more fierce, and I think pace notes have changed the sport for the better. You know, it's much tighter and you really have to have a good event, a clean event to win.
Jean-Pierre Damso is currently on a high after winning his first ever overall rally last month in Cape Town. But can he repeat this performance?
You know, we'd like to, but you know, everyone's going to be out there to win. The Toyotas, works cars, they want to win this rally.
Besides Fecken, Habig, Keen and Damso, Toyota's Mark Cronje is the only other driver to have won a rally in 2008 when he beat the Volkswagens at their home event. And this time they will be seeking revenge.
We've done some homework and the car feels really good, so we'll see. I think if everything goes well, we'll have a good package. We'll take the fight to them, man.
Castrol Toyota teammate Johnny Gemmell had a roller coaster season. He had winning speed on almost every event, but luck was not on his side.
But when we're going pretty nicely. And now we've got this new Auris. We've done some testing on Wednesday, and it feels pretty good, so we're looking for a good result.
After rolling on the Swartland Rally, Nicholas Ryan will miss the Toyota Dealer Gauteng Rally.
my right hand knee knocked against the door panel. I'm a freak, just stupid freak, and then a ligament problem I had on a squash injury just manifested itself. So, unfortunately, I'm running around in crutches. It's okay. It's not a problem.
Charles Wilkin has been the production car points leader all season long, but the overall production car championship is not yet in the bag.
Yeah, it's close. I mean, first has to win the rally overall, but you know, that's a long shot. I very much doubt that's going to happen. So I'm just going to go out and enjoy myself today, and hopefully we can finish off with a win.
On paper, Fisher du Plessis still had a chance to defend his production car title.
With Fernando not coming in, also with Paul's death, you know, Paul was a very good friend of mine. So made me not just coming to enjoy it.
Hein Latergan started the season too late to be in any championship fight, but wanted a good showing for new sponsors Afrox.
I tell you what, I'm now very nervous. I don't know why. Obviously, it's the worst time just before the start of a rally. But I think we'll just go flat out. I mean, we've been doing it this year. We're trying to gain experience more and more. Johan is doing the notes very well, so I'm looking forward.
For the sixth time this year, it was up to championship leaders Fecken and Aries to leave the start brand first, en route to tackle the first of Friday's 7 stages around Bronkhorstspruit. They were followed by teammates Habig and Keen and the first of the Toyotas, the Runnex of last month's winner JP Damso. Johnny Gemmel and Peter Marsh were next behind the wheel of their brand new Castrol Toyota Auris. From East Rand Toyota in Boksburg, it was almost 90 kilometers to the start of stage 1, a 23-kilometer taste of what was to come over the next 2 days. Hans won, close to Bronkhorstspruit, had lots of fast straights, long sweeps, tight corners and big jumps. This is it. The first stage of the last rally of 2008, and Fecken and Aries were out to prove that they are the deserving champions. The BP Ultimate Polo completed the 23-kilometer stage in a time of 14 minutes and 23 seconds. On these roads, being the first car to drive over them could be somewhat of a disadvantage, so Fecken's time was fast, but not the fastest.
Everything went pretty well. I think we caught everything at just the right speed, so no, I'm quite happy. Everything worked out very well.
The chance to add a 7th driver's title might have slipped through their fingers, but outgoing champions Jan Habig and Douglas Judd were driving for pride. The BP Ultimate Polo flew through stage 1 in a time of 14 minutes and 16 seconds, or 7 seconds faster than their teammates. The fight was on.
Sort of, you know, quite a bland stage, a lot of sand, holds the car back, car's not, I don't think it's pulling as well as it should. But maybe it's the heat, you know, so yeah, it's okay, nothing out of the ordinary.
Enzo Keen and Guy Hodgson were the next ones to battle their way through the dusty Milliefields. Knowing that there were still 16 stages to go after this one, Keen took a more cautious approach and recorded a time of 14 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, we had an overshoot on a one corner, so I lost 15 seconds there, I think.
With championships already won or lost, JP Damso and Kobus Frey could afford to concentrate on going fast, and going fast they did. The Total Evolution Toyota Runnex blitzed through stage 1 in a winning time of 14 minutes and 12 seconds, proving that his victory in Cape Town was no fluke. The brand new Castrol Toyota Auris of Johnny Gemmel and Peter Marsh only turned a wheel in anger for the very first time the Wednesday before the start of the Toyota dealer Gauteng Rally. Gemmel got his first competitive stage out the way with a time of 14 minutes and 36 seconds. With little or no worries about production car championship positions, the Sasol Konica Minolta Subaru of Charles Wilkin and Greg Godrich were given free reins on the final event of the year. He had to play it safe all year, but the Pretoria driver promised before the start of the event that he will go flat out this time round and equal the time set by Gemmel on stage 1. John Williams recently won the Pirelli Star Driver of the Year award, earning himself a place in a selected number of WRC events for next year. The Cape Town youngster, with his father Douglas in the hot seat, is still rapidly climbing the ranks and equaled the 4th fastest time on stage 1.
Quite a bit of, quite a lot rapid than we thought, but otherwise it was okay. Yeah, got into a nice rhythm.
Pretoria businessmen Japie van Niekerk and Robin Houghton were extremely consistent all year and occupied 3rd on the championship points table for most of the season until 2 consecutive mechanical failures halted his progress in his first year in the top S2000 class. Van Niekerk started the Toyota dealer Gauteng Rally with a top 10 time on stage 1.
I had to overshoot, you know. So, had a good stage otherwise, just overshoot.
Castrol Toyota's Mark Rooney and Robert Paisley were the ones that ended Volkswagen's early season domination when they won in Port Elizabeth in July. A month later, the pair was only 2 stages short of giving the new Castrol Toyota Auris a win on its debut in the mountains around Berkeley East, but it wasn't to be. On this event, they set off in their quest to add a second victory to their names by recording a safe 6th fastest time. The Afrox Subaru of Hein Latergan and Johan van der Merwe was the 10th car and the second production car to tackle stage 1. Latergan was looking forward to a really good rally and recorded the 10th fastest stage time, but he was already 29 seconds off the production car lead.
Yeah, we had one overshoot early in the stage. There were some confusing arrows that was marked and we still got confused.
The Pertex Subaru of defending production car champion Visser du Plessis with Gerard Snyman in the navigator's seat was the 3rd fastest production car and just outside the overall top 10.
The car is overheating, so I had to switch off the anti-lag.
Yeah.
And there are one place where they warned us, ignore arrows on right, but they didn't tell us that there were other arrows in front of us, so we went past our turn of going to those arrows, so we had a proper overshoot, but I see I'm not the only one.
Damso opens his account with a fine stage win ahead of Habig and Feckert. Clonier was only 11 seconds off the pace, followed by the S2000s of Keen, Gemmel and Williams. Wilkin takes the early production car lead. After the 23 kilometers of stage 1, it was just up the road for stages 2 and 3. At 12 and 7 kilometers respectively, the combined distance of stage 2, Susan, and stage 3, Santi, would be less than the 23 kilometers of stage 1. But it meant another 2 stages on the trot before the crews could head back to service their cars for the very first time. Throughout the season, Feckert and Uddies were the ones to beat in their BP Ultimate Polo, and they would have enjoyed nothing more than to finish a vintage season off with a 4th victory. They set the 3rd fastest time on stage 2 and went one better on stage 3 to take the overall rally lead. Pride was at stake for the outgoing champions Habig and Judd, who drove hard over these 2 stages. This legendary pair went off the boil a bit midway through the season, but it seemed as if the champions were finding their form again and ended these 2 stages just 4 seconds off the overall lead. The 3rd BP Ultimate Polo, with Enzo Keen and Guy Hodgson behind the wheel, was 3rd on the road. Keen is one of the most consistently fast drivers you'll find anywhere and proved it once again by winning stage 2 and keeping within striking distance on stage 3. He ended this loop of first stages just 14 seconds off the lead. The Total Evolution Toyota Runex of JP Damso and Kobus Frey was leading the Toyota dealer rally after stage 1, but things were about to go horribly wrong for the pair of Cape Townians. Damso lost nearly 20 seconds in stage 2 as a result of a misfire. Unfortunately for Damso, it went from bad to worse as he was forced to retire before starting stage 3. He said he didn't like this rally, and now the rally doesn't like him. Johnny Gemmel and Peter Marsh had the hopes of Castrol Toyota fans resting on their shoulders. The new Castrol Toyota Auris looked fast and their stage time agreed. 2nd quickest on stage 2 and 5th fastest on stage 3 left them in 4th overall.
Yeah, the car's running nicely. Just this one, we came back into our own dust, didn't know where the road was.
Wilkin and Godrich were flying in the Sassel Konica Minolta Subaru and opened up a 24-second production car lead over the next 2 stages while mixing it up with the S2000 cars.
A lot rougher, a lot sandier, and the jumps are a lot bigger.
The Williams Polo of John and Doug was now really starting to mix it up with the rest of the more established names in South African rallying. John completed these 2 stages in 5th position overall.
Had a good run on that stage, made an overshoot right at the start, but you know, I realized I've got to start pushing and make a couple of mistakes to learn from them.
Jaapie van Niekerk and Robin Houghton were as consistent as always, driving sensibly and hoping to end their season on a high note. They were lying 7th overall.
Being 8 on the road, you know, they're so ratted, you just sit there and spin, you know, you don't get traction, you don't get going.
The Castrol Toyota Auris of Mark Rooney and Robert Paisley was the 9th car on the road. Cronje flew into stage 2 with the aim of chasing the Volkswagens down. But when you're driving on the limit, like you do in top-class rallying, corners arrive very quickly.
Left 3 tightens to 5 and caution, turn late right line over the bump here. Robert.
Yeah, we had a good start. The notes were flowing quite nicely, so there was a left 3 and I don't know if I heard the notes a little bit too late, but but yeah, we arrived at a right 9 flat out, and it was impossible to slow the car down. So one of those things, you know, we're getting caned this year, making up for mistakes. I'm hoping that we can get it back on track.
Further down the field, the Afrox Subaru of Hein Lategan and Johan van der Merwe was still holding on to second position in the production car category, ahead of the Bertix Subaru of Visser Du Plessis and Gerard Snyman. After stage 3, the name Fecken is again in a familiar spot, and the same counts for Habig and Keen. The names Damso and Cronier are noticeably missing from the leaderboard, and Lola Verlaat moves into the top 10. After the break, the action on the Toyota dealer